Yo guys, welcome to the last lap.
Don't forget to drop a lovely, juicy 5-star rating if you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Hope you enjoy, and let's get into it.
You look at the finishing order: Verstappen P1, Hamilton P2, Alonso P3. You might be forgiven for thinking it,
It's a bit bland.
It's a bit bland, but anything but. And, I mean, by the time this podcast comes out, we'll know. We're still not sure.
Yeah.
We know Haas are appealing the decision.
The order could be anything, lads, I'm going to be honest with you.
The decision to restart the race. I mean, it's complicated, isn't it? That's the thing. To restart the race, but not go racing on the final lap. Boys, let's talk about it. What do we think should have happened, I guess?
Do you want me to start it easy? Should we start things off easy?
Well, so let's explain.
Stop the FIA.
That's easy.
That's easy. That's easy. We'll start things off mellow.
This is what happens when you have no sleep for more than 24 hours.
24 hours.
Cussing everyone.
Calling everyone out.
I wish I could blame that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like me on a normal
This is
day.
just generally,
But no.
Do you want a Tuesday afternoon?
So we had Kevin Magnussen randomly driving into the wall, seemingly unsighted.
It's always K-Mag. We
It's
said
a
this on the
weird
show,
one.
like, Kevin Magnussen just seems to know when he needs to become a paid actor.
Yeah.
When he needs to just go, you know what, lads, I'm fucking bored right now. I'm going to
main
make
character
shit
energy.
happen. And he does.
Loves the attention, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
It's like, I'll just lose concentration for a second.
Can't lose concentration.
Very weird accident, but it brought out the red flag.
Yeah,
There's loads of debris on the track, which, I mean, fair enough. And we got 2 laps. Well, we thought we'd get 2 laps, 2 sprint laps at the end. And then big shunt, loads of people out, only 11
Prix,
cars.
Sargent, both Alpines.
I don't think we've seen-
Alonso and Stroll spun as well.
Yeah.
Perez off.
The way Sargent went into the back.
De Vries, yeah.
That felt like a
looking at
mission
that
as
now,
well,
yeah.
didn't it? Yeah, it felt like...
I think we haven't had that many people out. Do you remember Bologna? Bologna. Not Bologna.
Bologna.
Bologna Grand Prix.
Serie A.
Which one was? Yeah, which one was the Grand Prix? Magello. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, when
Remember
everyone wiped out.
Magello? Thank you. Bologna. I am pressed. do you remember? Yeah, Maranello.
Magello.
Remember Magello in the safety car restart, and everyone kind of blamed Bottas for like backing everyone up until the start-finish line.
Yeah,
and
it felt like that sort of accident where
Yeah,
it's
it
just
was like that
constant
many
sort of-
people going out at the same time, and it was like honestly, like I said, we haven't seen a safety car restart like that since then. But it was a weird situation. We were all in here thinking, okay, once we got the information that they were going to take it back to the original starting grid from the standing start before the accidents happened, we thought that, okay, that means we're going to get an extra lap, because if you're going to take it back to that and act as if nothing happened,
you've got to take
then
it,
we
back to the
can't
actual
then.
start.
Why would you count the lap?
Why would you count the lap? And it just felt very confusing as F1 fans to be sat there watching it, and you're adding a lap, but you're taking away the advantages people have got from the mess ups that have happened, rightly or wrongly. And then if you have messed up and you're able to get your car back in good enough nick to complete one lap, you're then essentially being gifted like several places.
Yeah, well, basically what happened was like they acted as if the lap didn't happen, because what we ended up with at the end of that fucking crazy restart was like Hülkenberg was P4, Tsunoda was P5, Alonso and Stroll binned it, whatever. So they acted as if none of that happened by resetting it to what we were before, which was having Alonso and Stroll high up the order, and then said, actually, but we've done that lap, though, so we're just going to wrap it up here.
And also,
which doesn't make sense combining those two things together.
But also with Carlos, didn't he still get the...
Yeah. So if you're going to act as if none of that lap didn't happen and take it back to the start, you can't give Carlos a penalty, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't see, because Alonso didn't even lose anything in the end.
Well, yeah, because Carlos got the penalty for taking out Alonso, but then Alonso still got
finished
third.
Yeah.
So it's like, which one is it?
Yeah.
There's no consistency.
Yeah.
No. And that's the thing. It's one of those instances where, again, it feels like this specific, chain of events isn't written word for word in the regulations, so they have to go to the regs and
they
look at
remixed everything,
and because everyone's got a vested interest, that's why Haas are pushing for it. Because with the Carlos Sainz penalty, Hülkenberg would have got P3.
Yeah, exactly.
That's if they'd have kept it as it was.
Yeah, where did he finish in the end? Was it 7th in the end?
P7 in the end because of the Sainz penalty. But Hulk could be on the podium. Like, and we still
That's
don't
a
know.
massive
And you
difference
called
between
him
my
a
half.
fraud as well.
No.
I don't think I actually.
I think there's receipts.
There's definitely tapes. There's many tapes where I said that he's a fraud.
Insert them.
Yeah. I would like to take it back.
I guess it's one thing to, and look, we've had this plenty of times in the history of the sport where the race has finished under safety car. But at the end of the day, it's like when there's such a clear and obvious alternative solution where we could have got a racing lap still, it just feels like it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, was it Monza? I remember when Ricciardo broke down towards the end and it finished under safety car. It was like annoying, but you were like, well, they're not going to be able to recover the car in time. So like, fair enough.
It just made sense.
Yeah,
Like, it was one of those where I was like,
I
oh,
could
that's
accept
shit,
that.
but
this
whatever.
is harder to accept for me.
Oh no, for sure.
Because I feel like there's a solution that could.
And I think what's exacerbated it this time is, I think, we said on the VOD, like Silverstone last year when Zhou had his accident. And they basically, I think the reason they used was that, they didn't go through enough timing sectors or whatever by the time the red flag came. So I guess because that was the first lap, everyone was like, okay, it doesn't matter if we lose one lap. But like at this point, because we've literally lost essentially like a race within a race, it's kind of brought up the fact, and also, because no one had been able to, I mean, Lewis Hamilton lost out on like gaining 2 places that time, right?
Yeah.
People did lose out then, but I think it's more exacerbated this time because
it's the final finish.
it's the final thing, and there was so much that happened, and then there was so much potential for an incredible showdown.
Yeah.
So if you're going to apply penalties and if you're going to reset the grid, it just doesn't make sense for you to then say, okay, we're going to finish under safety car. But this is, like you say, something that's been happening again and again and again and again. Look at Suzuka last year, and look at other instances, look, Abu Dhabi, whatever. But it feels like in 2023, a sport that's been going since, I don't know, 1950, whenever, we don't have a handle on the regulations in a time when we have all the information possible.
The thing is, F1 is bare complicated. So
Yeah,
I know
that is
that
true.
definitely it's hard to like go, right, cool. We're gonna decide what happens from it. It's not like football where you can just go, that's foul.
Yeah.
That's offside. You know what I'm saying? Like that sort of like there's so many rules and regs to F1, I get that. But surely this highlights a gap in the regs where they've got to go, okay, this doesn't actually make sense. Like, logically speaking, it doesn't make sense to go back, but also not go back at the same time.
Yeah, that's why
it's just confusing for new fans.
Yeah, that's what I said in the live stream. Is like the only saving grace of this is that it's happened the 3rd race of the season. Because imagine if this was like for another title decider.
Oh my God, yeah, could you imagine?
Yeah, so hopefully in a time when it does have more impact, they will have it in set in stone what it actually would be the outcome of it.
Yeah,
no, 100%. You hit the nail on the head with a hammer. Like it's just really confusing. Like I say, at a time when we've got all these new fans coming in, and us as people, people who've watched it for a while are still a bit confused. If people are confused at the track, and if people are confused here as content creators, how are you as someone who maybe just watched Drive to Survive like a month ago?
Yeah.
And now watching this, and you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And it's not. If you're going to make stuff for the show, like the red flags when maybe we could have had a safety car go round whilst they were fixing that barrier. If you're going to do things for the show, let's do things for the show all the time. Let's not do things for the show sometimes and then not do things for the show other times. And it's just, we need consistency, and that's the issue.
Yeah, consistency is the key thing, isn't it?